People who have received the COVID-19 vaccine, how are you doing? My wife got the Pfizer vaccine on the second day it was available in the UK. The next day she had an elevated temperature and nausea. Day after, she was okay but had a sore arm. That's lasted a few days but she's okay now.
A lot of symptoms when you get sick aren't from the pathogen itself, but your immune system's response to it. It releases chemical messengers that promote fever, muscle pain, fatigue, etc. The mRNA vaccine acts just like a virus in that it penetrates your cells and starts making your cells produce foreign protein. Your immune system sees this and reacts as if it were an actual virus. So, you get immunity, but also some of the symptoms associated with infection. Hope that helps. I got the Sinopharm vaccine 2 days ago. On the day I got it I was feeling really tired and I slept like 3 hours more than I usually do. But after I woke up it was just a sore arm and I was back to normal. Had the first one about 36 hours ago, fine so far. Slight dull ache in the arm but no worse than what I get with the flu jab each year. I also snored like a wildebeest last night, but I'm sure that's unrelated. I'm in the Johnson & Johnson Phase 3 trial so officially I don't know whether I've had the vaccine or a placebo. Had the first jab about 2 weeks ago and had a mild reaction, slightly raised temperature, muscles ached, headache, from 7 to 22 hours after the injection. Similar to when you have a flu shot, nothing more. Absolutely fine within 24 hours after the injection. I'll have the second jab in another 2 weeks' time. Edit so a chimp didn't type it. Absolutely fine within 24 hours after the injection. I'm in the Pfizer trial and received the second dose in September. About 24 hours after the first injection I felt pretty tired. I went to bed and felt fine the next day. About 4 hours after the second injection I felt like complete trash. Fever, chills, headache, body aches, but nothing respiratory or digestive issues. Laid in bed for a day, woke up the next day feeling perfectly fine. Yeah, I felt bad for a day, but that's nothing compared to the peace of mind that I have. Fine, but it kind of kicked my ass for the first day and a half. More so than any other vaccine I remember. I got mine as part of a study on AstraZeneca's AZD1222 vaccine, which is fundamentally different from the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines being rolled out in the US and UK right now. So maybe the immune reaction to those isn't as strong. I'm in the Pfizer trial and got the shots in August and September. It was no big deal, my arm was sore for a bit each time. My reaction was so mild that I wondered if I'd gotten the placebo, but then my partner got sick and I was heavily exposed to the virus at home. During that time I got multiple negative test results and never got a symptom. I still follow social distancing, of course, but I'm not really concerned about getting sick anymore, which is an enormous relief. I hope everyone who reads this rushes out to get this vaccine as soon as it's available. I can't wait for my sister to get it. She's a frontline medical worker and she's in remission for breast cancer, so the threat is extremely real for her. As for me, I'm high risk but there is a slight chance I actually had COVID back in December of 19. My in-laws came to visit from Australia and my father-in-law had a mild cough. Within a day of their arrival I was incredibly sick, fever, sore throat making it impossible to talk without vomiting, bad cough, migraine, just utterly miserable. I have lung scarring and asthma so I went to the doctor immediately because I get bronchitis at the drop of a hat and am at elevated risk for pneumonia. I get the pneumonia vaccine. Ironically, despite not being able to talk and having a hard time swallowing my own spit, the doctor gave me pills to take that looked as if they should go in the wrong side of a horse. I was extremely sick and in bed for over a week, and the cough lingered forever. My mother-in-law also got sick though not as bad as I did. Father-in-law never went past a mild cough and my wife, who has a very robust immune system, never even got that. Later on we found that some of the first cases of COVID were being found and introduced to other countries about the same time that my in-laws came through 3 international airports and my father-in-law got his cough. I just wanted to say that this thread is fabulous. I never thought seeing a Reddit thread about a real COVID vaccine so soon. A month ago I wasn't even thinking about vaccination, but here we are now. I know most of us will get that vaccine way later, possibly late 2021, but it's still so nice to see concrete advancements. It gives us hope. I got my first dose of AZD1222 a few weeks ago and get my next dose just after Christmas. I'm fine, felt a little meh on the way home but not any worse than when I get my flu shot. I'm in a trial so I might have gotten the placebo but 2/3 RDS of the participants get the vaccine, so who knows. If you're worried about how the vaccine is because it came out so quick, please keep in mind that a lot of the research done on SARS-CoV-2 started way back in 05-ish with the SARS epidemic in China. That virus was very similar to COVID, so a lot of the groundwork was already done. Also, no steps were skipped in development, rather they were done at the same time. Usually you test on cells, then mice, then people, with a lot of waiting on paperwork in between, but this time they did cells, then mice and people at the same time, and the paperwork didn't wait in limbo. So rest assured no corners were cut and the vaccine wasn't scotch taped together. I'd love to hear from someone who has a severe food allergy and how it went. It was incredibly disappointing to hear that the UK recommended anyone with a severe allergy to medicine or food avoid the vaccine for now. I know they've walked that back a bit, but it's a bit concerning. I could have an anaphylactic reaction to it. It depends on which vaccine, and which allergies you have. Several vaccines use bovine serum albumin in the recipe, and if you are allergic to albumin, can't eat eggs, then you can't have vaccines with BSA in them. But there are 51 vaccine candidates in trials at present and they're all different, so having an allergic reaction to the Pfizer one doesn't mean you can't have vaccination at all. I'm in the Moderna trial, so I may have received placebo. Now that Pfizer has an EUA in the US I should be finding out, but I'm fine. I received both doses in September. No side effects at all after the first. I was fatigued for 3 days after the second. I was able to work but took a nap after work and went to bed right after dinner, which is unusual for me. I suspect that I got the vaccine. Otherwise I didn't have any side effects and feel great. I was back to normal within days. I believe Moderna's plan is to offer their vaccine to all participants who received placebo and continue the study with them. If I did get the placebo, without a doubt I'll take the vaccine and keep going. Got it yesterday and my arm is sore. I'd say the injection site soreness was worse than my flu shot, but not as bad as a tetanus shot. I know there's a possibility that I might get some fever and chills as my immune system kicks in, but I couldn't care less. I feel grateful I can choose a day or two of minor symptoms over a potentially serious illness. Got it yesterday and my arm is sore. I'd say the injection site soreness was worse than my flu shot, but not as bad as a tetanus shot. I know there's a possibility that I might get some fever and chills as my immune system kicks in, but I couldn't care less. I feel grateful I can choose a day or two of minor symptoms over a potentially serious illness. I'm doing great. I had the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine through work exactly 1 week ago today. My arm was sore for about a day and a half, but less sore than the flu vaccine. I don't feel any different than after any other vaccine, or day. I'm getting the second dose on New Year's Eve. I've been part of the Oxford trials and am doing great. Honestly, I don't really get the whole anti-vaccine movement, bunch of dummies. Hello, I'm a transporter at a hospital in NY. I got the first of 2 vaccines yesterday. My arm is a bit sore from the shot just like the flu vaccine, but that's about it. I feel great. I answered this in a different thread, but I will mention it here too. My brother-in-law got the first vaccine shot yesterday morning, and he's doing fine. He should be getting the second one in around 3 weeks from now. I'm in the Moderna trial. And I have been doing great. Just a 24-hour flu like haze 8 to 16 hours after each shot, but honestly, it goes away easily. A little Tylenol or naproxen, and plenty of water and sleep makes the next day a breeze. So please, allow the reaction to wash over you if you get it, and take the following day after the shot off of work. You have earned it, since you've evaded a potentially deadly and randomly intensive disease.